Good morning, Jim Hodges here, Betsy here. Betsy is a golden doodle, approximately 9 months of age. She came in for our residency training program. The epitome of happy, excited, enthusiastic, that's her. Over the top excitement. She loves people. She wants to jump on them. She wants to jump on furniture. You probably got dogs, some of you have dogs at home that just go over the top on everything. That's a great thing. I'd much rather have a dog that was super excited than I had to motivate to no end to get going. This is Betsy. With excitement though, there does come times that we need to have proper measure of calmness and paying attention to us as a leader. Whether it's with guests coming in or we're out in the city, the country, a park, walking around, we want our dogs to obey. We want them excited to obey, and that's going to be no problem here, but we want them to obey. And I said it was no problem here. How do we kill the excitement? By intimidating, dominating, breaking her spirit, overbiting, just really taking her to a point that she feels she must have to obey. Don't get me wrong, she has to obey, but we want her to want to obey just as much as we want her to obey us. So that means that when she does what we want, we're going to praise her. We're going to praise her with words and touch, to a little degree treats at times, although treats can sidetrack her if we're not careful. Okay? With a toy, that's fine, but just the general sense of being with us, I think, is a big reward. That's why we want to praise. When we're living life and she's doing things the way we like, we want to praise that. We want to praise her 20 times during the day more than we would ever provide a consequence or a bite. But a consequence or a bite is a must in my belief. Okay, dogs live in the physical world. So when she does something wrong, we're going to bite her, just like we're going to praise her when she does right, okay? So that bite is typically what I like to use as a tap of the leash. Sometimes it could be something like this. It could be a touch. It could be something along those lines where I would say no or when she did something wrong. When she does something right or wrong, put a note in your mind, because she's going to do that over and over again until if it's wrong, you fix it. Or if it's right, you put a praise to it or maybe even a new word for it, okay? So, when we're meeting people, calm wins the day. She never, ever gets to say hey to someone unless she's in this calm state that she's in right now, okay? What happens in life is, I believe, that dogs are typically, some dogs are happier than others, but when people come over and say hey for the first time, it's all about the puppy. They get excited, she gets excited, and before long, she's being trained that she's the official greeter, that she is supposed to get excited and jump all over people. Take that to a dog that's naturally over the top anyway, and you've got some work to do. Not hard work, it's just redirection and showing that we call the shots with what's going on. We don't put her in that position to jump again. Then once we do start to work on it, we want to make sure we work it over and over, and then you can even remember the entrapment series I was talking about, where we test her purposely not to jump on us, where she would have done that in a second when she first came. Okay? You ready? Listen to my tone. Watch my praise. Now, this is a kind of dog that sometimes your praise can call her to break a command. Know that. See that. If your praise breaks a command, provide a light consequence and make her do it over. Repetition is the key. We repeat. All right? So you ready, sweetheart? Let's go. Atta girl. Good girl. You ready to go? Atta girl. So she's walking with me. She's happy. I don't know if you notice, she's watching me a whole lot. Anytime our dog watches us, we want to praise her and let her know how happy we are. She's good. I want her right here. Atta girl. Atta girl. So you can see how turned on she gets, okay? But she was right here. On our let's go, that's where we want her, all right? We don't want her out in front. We don't want her out to the side. Good girl. I was watching her. She's not in a command. I was going to make sure she wasn't going to try to pick up an acorn or a leaf or something like that. I would bite that. Why? because I don't want her picking up something that could hurt her in life. It's one thing to smell the ground when we're not working, but when we're working, I don't want her to smell, and I would provide a consequence for that. See how she's watching? Good girl. We really like that to happen. So let's go is here. Let's go, let's turn around, sweetheart, is with a loose leash, all right? And when we have that loose leash, we're not guiding her. If I had the leash tight, she feels that connection, and I'm willing her physically to do these things. I want her using that brain. She's very smart to understand what I want with a loose leash. Then as she starts to go out in front of me, as she starts to go over here, all I'm going to do is tap the leash. She thought it might have been a down. That's okay. But I'm going to tap it back to my side, and when I tap it, I'm going to tell her no, and then let's go. So let's go. Good. So we can jog, slow down, see how she's watching. Sit. Good girl. Hand signal for sit. Atta girl. Good girl. She has to hold that sit. When I tell her to sit, sit means sit. I am not going to keep her in that sit command for too long. Maybe 30 seconds to a minute at the most, but I don't like to put that pressure on their rear ends. Watch me release her, okay? Break. What does she do? She comes right to me to get pet. I like to tell people when we're working and we give that release command, and we can use a treat to begin with if your dog doesn't want to do it, but we're teaching them to come back to us, that we're the center of our universe. So we want to be happy. We want her to be excited. Sit. Good girl. So again, she has to hold the sit till I release her. I can go to another command or I can release her with the BREAK command. If she started to get up, or if she didn't do it when I asked her, it would be no, sit. It would be a tap straight up above her head. The reason I go up above her head, think about it. When you bite up, her head's going up, her tail is tucking. So I told her to sit, say she didn't do it, it would be no, sit. And then even after that consequence, I would come back and praise her when she did it right, just not as much as if she did it right the first time, okay? So the next thing, down. Hand signal for down from the side. Good girl, good girl. And she has to hold that. You notice I didn't stay for either one of them. Stay has a big part in my life, but it's not part of just normal down and sit. When I tell my dog to down, when I tell my dog to sit, when I tell it to PLACE here in a minute, they're to do it, and they're to hold it until I release them and move to another command. If I want them to be there for a while, that's when I give that S-T-A-Y sound, stay. Now, stay means stay. It means pack your bags. You're not going anywhere for a while. You don't have to pay attention. You can smell the ground. You still can't pick up rocks and acorns and things like that, but you could chew on a toy if mom or dad gave it to her. I usually keep a dog in a stay for a minimum of a minute to 2 minutes and as much as 15 to 20 minutes. I believe down stay is a very important part of our relationship with a dog as we're teaching to lead. Now just say, for example, I had her in a down or a down stay and she got up. Well, in the beginning, I'm going to have a leash close by so she starts to understand what's going on. I'm going to pick up the leash and I'm going to bite her all the way back. I'm going to go no, 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 down, stay. And then I'm immediately going to go back to where I was. It's important that we take her back to where she was so she understands we mean what we say. How do we practice this? There's a lot of repetition, there's a lot of praise. Now you notice how she's been holding it for a while. You remember how in the beginning I said we praise her just when she's doing things that we like? Atta girl. I want her to know that she's making me happy right now, okay? So D-O-W-E-N was from the side. If she did not do it for the down, then I would tap the lead. This is her head. I would go, no, down, okay? Whether I'm in the front or the side, I would bite like this. With all of our commands, if our dog does something once, especially when we're trying to get an obedience, breaks a command once, she's going to do it over and over again until we fix it. So we need to get numbers in. We need to get that repetition in without traumatizing her, of course. How do we traumatize? As if we're overbearing and if we do it 100 times in a row. We just want to do it enough that she understands, and we try to get 1 or 2 correct commands, and then we praise her and move on to something else. Notice how she's holding the down. Break. Good girl. Sit. Break. Okay, sweetheart. Let's go. Down. Good. Down from in front is like this. Down from the side is like this. The sit is like that. Notice my tone of voice trying to help encourage her. Notice how she's watching me. Atta girl. I'm praising her, but she's in a SIT command. Okay, if she got up now, I would bite her. Or I could have said, sit, break, and then praised her and loved her. And you see how happy she likes to get, okay? So, we're getting ready now. We have the sit, we have the down. Let's do this command, sit. Now we've got the COME command, on-leash COME. When I give her that command, I'm going to give a hand signal. I don't think I'm going to use a treat right now, but I am going to give a hand signal, and she's going to come up and she's supposed to sit in front of me. If she doesn't come, I'm going to tap that leash and tell her to no, come. Okay? If she doesn't come to me in the direction I want, I'm going to bite that because I want her right here. Okay? So I'm going to try to keep her off balance. Come. Good girl. Good girl. No, sit. So when I ask her to come, she's supposed to sit. You see how the praise and excitement cause her to bounce? Okay, that's not what I want. So I went, no, sit. So now guess what we're going to do? We're going to do it again. Come. Good girl. That's right. And now, only because I'm anal, we're going to do it another time, okay? Good girl. Come. Atta girl. Break. So what we did there was do the repetition to make sure in her mind she knew what we wanted. And although it's scary sometimes as a trainer, you do it. You want to get her better and better. I'm going to tell you right now, humans, dogs, there's only one perfect being that ever walked this earth. We're going to make mistakes. Let's learn from our mistakes and try to do it better the next time. Although she's come so far in 10 days, hopefully she's going to grow exponentially more with your life, where you can take her to the beach and walk her and not worry about what's going on, that you can take her downtown and sit at an outdoor restaurant and have her in a place or a down with you, okay? So that's the COME on leash. Now off leash, okay, it's really important. We don't always know she's going to come. And with her, she actually had a time in her life that they would tell her to come off leash and she wouldn't come. That's what happens when a dog is off leash. You tell him to come because it seems natural to you. She looks at you or he looks at you and says, huh, and goes back to doing what they're doing. They learn two things. They learn one, in that moment, that they can ignore come if they want to, and they learn also the further away from you, the less likely that you can make them do something, okay? So it's real important that we do everything psychologically that we can to get her to want to come. That's why I do the break commands as I do, okay? Is I'll break and let her come up to me, I'll pet her and love her because I'm trying to get her so happy to want to come to me. So pretend, break. So she was already broke, I didn't know. I forget sometimes too, but she was just standing there. But pretend like she's off leash, and we've demonstrated this in person, but I might have a treat, I might have a toy, and I'm going to get her attention. She doesn't have to come. I'm going to try to wait and see if she'll look away from me here in just a second. And if she doesn't, we'll move on. Maybe if somebody behind the camera made a little bit of a noise or something. This didn't work. Okay. All right, so we're going to pretend like she's out walking 20, 30 feet away. All right? Betsy, hey baby, come. Atta girl, good girl, treat, pet, love, break. And then I will release her. Okay? And then if she comes back up to me, I'm going to pet her and love her. Okay? If she runs back out, I'm going to be happy. We want her to want to come to us, get loved, get treated, get paid, and then let her go back to play. Then as time goes on, she starts to understand that mom and dad are great. I'm going to run up and see what they got for me. It's going to be that love. It's going to be a little bit of treat or something, and I can go right back to playing. Because it's important when your dog comes to you, you never do anything that seems negative to her. That means you don't hook her up and go put her up because you got to go to work. You don't correct her for something she did out there. It's got to be positive, okay? Then once she comes to you, you pet her and love her. You wait a minute or two. Then you take her and put her up. But you don't want it to be associated with the come command. Then every time you're out walking in the yard and your dog decides to come, even without the treat, okay, you make it a point of petting her and loving her, and if she's making a beeline to you, you give her that COME command. Off leash, I don't care if she sits or not. I make my dogs do it. She's doing it automatically right now, but you don't have to. It's whatever you want out there. Good girl. Let's go. And we do that hundreds of times, because now we have to undo the learned behavior that's already there, just like with the jumping. Next command is the place. Good girl. Place is get on your bed. She didn't do it quite as excited as she does it at times, but she gets on her bed, she lays down, sits down, stand up, read a book. I don't care what she does as long as she stays on the bed. Easily she can do this for a couple of hours. You can take this bed or have beds in all the rooms of the house. When you're exercising, when you're relaxing, whatever you're doing, cooking, whatever you're doing in life, you can put her in a place and she can stay there. You're not having to pay 100% attention, although you're paying attention to her, but you're asserting your leadership and she's happy and relaxed in that bed. We just want to make sure we release her, just like with the down. If she got up and moved off, we would bite her back. No, 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 place. We would tap towards the center of the bed. If I told her to place and she didn't do it to begin with, it would be no, 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 to the center of the bed, place. When her fourth foot hits the bed, that's when we praise, okay? Remember, even if we provide a consequence, once they do what we want, we come back and provide mild praise. We always want to finish even a bite with some modicum of praise. Break, girl, let's go. All right, so the next thing is she likes to get on furniture. Well, but they want her to be on furniture, but not on furniture when she chooses to. So she goes to get on the furniture. It's not down, as everybody would say. It's not off, as everybody would say. If she got on furniture and was not asked to do it, it would be a no, and it would be a bite to get back on the floor. The bite could again be the snout, it could be the tap, it could be grabbing the collar and tapping, or it could be the leash with the tap. In the beginning, with all my residency dogs, I say we let our dog, while we're watching, wear the collar, wear a leash, so we can react quickly and with the proper mechanisms I'm trying to teach you, okay? And that's what we do. When we want her to get on the furniture, we give her a command like this. Okay, baby, load up. Good girl. And that would be load up on the furniture. When you wanted her off, you could say, and I haven't done this, but oh, good girl. You could tell her off. Then if she jumped back on, you would bite her for that. No, again, if our dog does something once, they're going to do it over and over again till you fix it. Or if it's something you like, put a word to it, you got a command. All right, baby, sit. Next thing is the heel command. The heel command is, I like to tell people we've got an imaginary rectangular box by our side, and her job is to stay in that box. Our job is to keep her there. It's a walking command, running command, what have you, but she has to respond to our movement, okay? So we don't take these herky-jerky movements to try to get her off balance and screw up. We try to end up in a straight path where she can naturally sit beside us, okay? If she does it, if she moves out of the box, we're going to tap just like with the let's go, back to our side. Or if she does it at the end, she's supposed, excuse me, sweetheart, she's supposed to sit. If she doesn't sit, it's going to be a no sit, all right? So here we go. Heel. So she's right here on my side. See how tight we are? I step off. See how she's coming back in? I turn the corner. I stop. She sits. Good girl. And notice she's holding the sit. Did you notice how after I turned the corner, I still walked a little bit? Because if I stopped in a turn, if I stopped on a step out, she fails. I fail. So I always heel, watch the step out, see, fail. But I wait till she has a chance to recover because she didn't know that's what I was going to do. Come through the curve, I stop, I walk a few steps, and a girl, down. I walk a few steps for her to get her bearings and give her a chance to get back inside my heel box, okay? Break. That's a good girl. She's doing real well. I'm really happy with her. She's a smart dog. She's a happy dog. That's the categories that I would love to have. Just know there are going to be challenges. Know that if you have a question, you pick up the phone and call me. If you need a follow-up, we do it. I know you're a couple of hours from me, but we can do a follow-up. There's never, ever a charge. I want you guys to be successful. I want her to be successful. already know you're incorporating her in everything you do in your life, well, guess what? It's going to be able to do that even more, and you're going to be happy, she's going to be happy. My number's 336-945-3232. Call me anytime. JimHodgesDogTraining.com, Facebook.com/Jim Hodges Dog Training. If you need me, call me. I'm here for you. Thank you so much, and God bless. Pray.